time long ago. I was at the grocery store. He walked up to me smelling all good. I couldn't reach the top shelf, so he helped me with that. And honey, it's been on and popping.
Nigga, we can't hear it now. Come on now. Get in the middle, please.
Nigga, you so busy in your phone. I hope you pull it up video.
I'm sorry. Don't worry about what I'm doing. You got one job. Control the music. You ain't doing a good job.
That's because I do this by myself.
We don't want to hear it. We don't want to hear it.
Every week.
Come on. That sounds like personal.
Is it too loud?
Higher than I ever been.
No, fuck that. We start. You know what? Fuck that. We are starting over. God damn it! I have new equipment, and you gonna recognize it, and you gonna act like you appreciate it. Now, now. Am I loud? Am I too loud?
Always loud. There's no change. There's nothing new.
Hi Tia. Hi True.
Tia, what's up?
Look at this nigga. I'm so tired of him. Nobody understands. I mean, this is all day, every day, you guys. You don't know this.
We just start. Here you go. It's always something over there.
You always do this every week. Now, are you ready?
Okay, Ayesha.
Are you ready? Cause tonight's we're gonna have issues tonight. Cause I'm not letting you get away with nothing tonight. I'll give him a pass.
This nigga about to drive me crazy.
Wait, I'm tired of this shit. I'm standing up for myself tonight, guys. Come on. Get out of that phone and tell me if I sound good. Come on.
You sound great.
How do I sound, you guys? Not forget these two. How you been, True? Wait. Okay, look at Nirvana's headphone. Look. Not nephew, give me a drink because she's about to drive me crazy. Okay, let me pick. Yeah, right. God. Let me find a song. Okay, we're going to try it again, guys. Come on, guys. Let me find a song that gives me peace of mind. Oh, my God. Let me go to the sobriety playlist.
Yes, Lord, please.
Look it. This is the what we hear. That might be too slow. Do you like that one, Jason? Jason, do you think that's too slow? Jason, I think that's too slow. Let me find another one. Okay, one more, Jason. You won't help me. You're making me do it by myself. Okay, I found one I like. Too slow. Tia said too slow. Here we go. This is still slow, but I like this one.
I took a shower with my clothes on. How stupid. I went to sleep with all the lights on. How stupid. I play the keys with my guitar. How useless. I try my best to up and move on, but I just can't do it. Without you, I wasn't meant to spend the night. I wasn't meant to live my life. Best believe that I've been trying, but what it comes down to is different without you. Yeah, I wasn't meant to be outside. There's no colors in the light. No other love can satisfy.
Some people are happy in relationships.
What it comes down to is different without you, yeah. Through the with that piano on the floor. Rushed myself to get up out the door. Then I slipped up in the corridor. This was never happening before. Don't think I can take it anymore. Look at how you got me vulnerable. You do, you do, you do. Without you, I wasn't meant to spend the night. I wasn't meant to live my life. Best believe that I've been trying. But what it comes down to is different without you, yeah. I wasn't meant to be outside without you here. There's no colors in the light without you here. No other love can satisfy. What it comes down to is different without you, yeah. What it comes down to is different without you, yeah. How did this end up being my reality? So different now that you're missing. How did this end up being my reality?
Okay, now what you think about that?
Listen, it doesn't matter.
What? See, hi, Susan.
What's
Hi,
good, Susan? What's good, Truth? Tia, thank y'all for sliding as always. We really, really, really do appreciate it. Cuzzo, what's happening? Let's get it cracking tonight. We got a lot to talk about.
Okay, what you want to talk about? We talking about Ayesha Curry.
It's not just about that, but
it's not just about that. We got to start somewhere.
Yeah, let's start somewhere.
Do you have a video you would like to share? I mean, yeah. I just have the interview.
I have videos. I have quite a few. I sent you quite a few.
I don't need it because you can share from.
But I sent you quite a few.
Yes, you did.
Right.
Okay. So can I ask you a question?
You sure can. Let's talk.
I want everybody
to talk about my life. Fuck all this shit. Listen, my daughter got married. What? Let's talk about it. Let's talk about my baby got married, y'all. My baby got married.
Yes.
Beautiful ceremony. I would say I'll share pictures, but I clearly don't share shit. So just know it was gorgeous.
Why you don't want to share pictures?
It's not that I don't want to. It's just the timing to do the shit. I just still.
What about right now on the podcast? But you didn't get her permission.
Nigga, them my pictures. What are you talking about?
She's the wife of an NBA player, correct?
Oh, she's so cute.
Susan.
No, that nigga he's 6'4" though. He's chef though. He's 6'4" though.
But that don't make him an NBA player.
Right.
He's a chef. Hi everybody. So listen, John Ye's married his daughter. He's now a what do you call it? A father-in-law. Among other things.
Yeah.
You know. Now, I want to know, what's your problem with Ayesha Curry? Does everybody know who she is?
If they don't know, Ayesha Curry is the wife of Steph Curry, who is an NBA megastar. Oh, maybe that's what Susan was talking about. That's what she's talking about. Yeah, she wasn't talking about my daughter being the wife of an NBA player. She's talking about her. Yeah, that's who Ayesha Curry is. But I think, that's even an issue to a degree, because I think one of her biggest concerns is that of her having her own identity. So she's referred to as, rather than referred to as her, the chef, entrepreneur, whatever other titles she might carry. But people just know her as, okay, that's the wife of this NBA superstar. So, yeah, there's a couple layers there we can get into. But there's a part of it, I think, that we all play a part in. And that's the part that I'll bring up once we get to some of these other issues a little bit later. Because this isn't a new scenario. And I've personally seen this even in my own circumstances. So there's a lot of parallels. And I think that's what really pissed me off about the whole dynamic. But we'll get into it. So let's go ahead and run your first clip. And
all I have is the original video. The interview.
All right.
I don't really have any clip. There's plenty on the internet. But I'll play this. I'll find something to play here. Hold on, because I want to get to the why you shared it with me and why what. Let me say this. I didn't understand that Ayesha Curry was a topic of contentment. Okay, until Jason sent me a clip. Okay,
topic of what?
Well, what's the word? Is it contentment? No. Help me. Don't make fun of me. Help me.
I'm not. We're
there. She said, wait.
We're laughing together.
No, I'm not laughing. She's a topic of
discussion.
No, that's not the word I'm trying to use. It's
clearly no one knows what that word is. You don't
No, she's a topic of contentment. It's not contentment. What is the word? Content? No. Oh
my God. But it's okay. Yeah.
Somebody help me. Come on. You don't even know the word.
Nigga, no one knows what you're trying to say. You don't even know.
She's a problem. It's a topic of a problem. It's a problem. She's a problem. The topic is a problem. It's not contentment. It's what? It starts with a C.
Contention?
Contention. That's it.
Get the fuck out of here. Where's my soundboard at?
How do you spell it? Look at this nigga coming out the bushes trying to help.
Controversy. Yeah, that's a good one.
Everybody's trying to help. We'll be here all day with her searching for. Listen, what's the word, Jason?
What do we say? Contention?
Contention. Okay. Why is she a problem?
Yeah.
Jason doesn't like the fact. Okay. I'm gonna play this.
Yeah, come on, Susan. Let's
here we go.
Yeah, we'll get into the actual videos.
Let me share.
And then you can hear. And then I'll share with you my piece on this whole scenario.
Let me just start with this one. We'll start right here. Come on.
Wife Ayesha is yet another one of these women who does this exact same thing. I think the downfall really began the night of June 16th, 2016, when LeBron would score 41 points, evening up the NBA Finals at 3 games apiece, before eventually coming back in historic fashion from being down 3-1 to Steph Curry and the Warriors. Following that night, Ayesha would tweet that the NBA was rigged, and that she had just witnessed it with her own 2 eyes. To me, this was the first sign that she was beyond willing to speak her mind, no matter what the cost and how it could affect her husband and his career. Keep in mind, Steph has always kept his head down and his nose clean. Like, I'm talking about absolutely no scandals on or off the court, while also pocketing a cool $1 billion along the way. And I feel like when Steph was first going off, really making a name for himself, everyone loved his family, he was bringing out the baby to the press conference, the wife was doing the cooking show, but it was simply not enough for Ayesha, and over time it's really just gotten more and more embarrassing. First 6 years ago we had this clip from the Red Table Talk where relationships go to die. Ayesha went on there with the Sith Lord herself, and also Steph's mother of all people, and she had this to say about yearning for attention from other men. Because there are women out there constantly thirsting over her husband, and she wanted some of that same lust.
Something that really bothers me and like honestly has given me a sense of a little bit of an insecurity is the fact that, yeah, like there are all these women like throwing themselves, but me, like the past 10 years, like I don't have any of that. Like I have zero, it sounds weird, but like male attention. And so then, like, I begin to internalize it, and I'm like, is something wrong with me?
You're
Like,
not looking.
what?
You're not
Like,
looking. You're not even. But I'm gonna
No,
tell you something.
Now,
she's
her
fucking
saying
looking.
all that while Curry's mom is sitting right next
think
to
so?
her is downright insane to me. She even tries to save her by saying, "Oh, you're not looking for that girl. What does it matter?"
something wrong with
You're
me?
not.
Like,
You're not looking.
what?
You're not
Like,
looking.
And keep in mind, they did get married fairly young, so maybe she did not get to experience all of the things that she wanted to. But saying that you crave the attention of other men when you're already a mother and a wife for years at that point is strange. And something that she really should have kept to herself or talked about in private. And that is really going to be a running theme in this video. You know, it's not like it's wrong to have feelings because relationships are complicated and they go through various stages. But hey, here comes Jada to give her some advice.
Because I dealt with that for years too, like, and I was young, like you.
yeah,
like,
that's
oh my
not
God,
fair.
I mean,
because I don't want it, but
Yeah.
it'd be nice to know that, like, someone's looking.
but
That
when
can
your
get
radar's
dangerous.
turned off, right,
You're
that can get
beautiful.
real Don't
dangerous.
ever think for 1 minute that it ain't no some men out there looking at you like I wish. Honestly. And I'm gonna tell you who knows that more than anybody. Your husband.
Yeah, so Curry's mom even tells her, like, this is a dangerous line to walk.
But
That
when
can
your
get
radar's
dangerous.
turned
Now, the next instance of
Dangerous.
embarrassment would occur on yet another daytime talk show, The Real. This clip does go viral time and time again because of what happens after they bring out this old up shirtless dude named Marcel.
Marcel.
Now, the hand gesture there is just absolutely diabolical, and I get that she's like joking, but if the tables turned and Steph was doing the same thing around some cocktail waitress on a podcast, I think that both women
Right.
and men would think that that shit is pretty wild. And it's funny how it's always another woman on the show who immediately sees what she's doing as crazy and tries to get her to stop. And during this same interview, she would also go on to put Steph's love for feet on display. Yes, I'm serious.
This is gonna turn into a whole other thing, but my husband really loves my feet.
Oh, I love that.
And so, like, the light was hitting him just right that day. And so I was like, let me just snap this photo and send him a picture of my feet. So I always say, like, when he says to send nudes, like, that's what he's getting, a picture of my bare feet. I don't know if he's happy about that, but that's okay.
And like I said, there is nothing inherently wrong with him beating his meat to feet, but some things are once again better kept private.
All right, girl. Now we know something about him. He likes feet, sisters.
He's going to kill me.
And with these latest antics, it's really only gotten worse. As a couple weeks back, Ayesha went on the Call Her Daddy podcast to talk about how she has felt discontent with her life as a mother from time to time, and how it's basically hard to deal with her not being the star of the show.
4 kids. Did you always knew you wanted a big family?
No. So
Really?
I didn't want kids. I didn't want to get married. I thought I was going to be career girl and that's it. And I had my eyes set on my goals, and I was never the little girl that like dreamt about the wedding dress and all of that. And then it happened so early in my life. So it's like it's one of those things like you don't know what you actually don't know what you want.
And it's fine to look back in retrospect and acknowledge hard moments where maybe you question your life path or your decisions, or maybe even your identity, but later she says this is something that still bothers her till this day.
But after my daughter turned 1, I remember there being a shift and being like, I have goals for myself. Like, this doesn't feel right. I love being a mom, but I love doing other things too. And I need to get my shit together and figure out what that looks like for myself now.
If I have a career and I'm
Yeah.
not home, like did you experience that?
I still experience
Okay.
that. I still experience that. I'm always in therapy talking about this. If you lose all of those things that were interesting about you, even for yourself, like even the things that made me feel confident and cool, then what What are you doing?
And the thing to me is, like, she is a very successful person on her own merit. Like, don't get me wrong, being his wife likely opened most of these doors for her in these situations, but she also hit home runs with her opportunities, having several very successful restaurants. She has also been highlighted time and time again on magazines, and even having her own TV shows. I'm just saying, it's not like she's some silent woman in the corner only there to appease her husband. Yet she still comes off as insecure, but then again, she did say that she thought that she would be the breadwinner, despite also knowing that Curry was going to be a high draft pick making massive waves in college when they met.
I didn't know that he was going to end up playing basketball. Like, he said he wanted to be a high school basketball coach. Like, I thought I was gonna be like the girl out there getting it. So I didn't know.
I don't know, I just don't really understand how someone can come off as so ungrateful after having such a fortunate hand dealt to them in life. Like, she has 1 million times the opportunity that other women have. I'm talking about nannies, endless therapy, countless money, and endless doors of opportunity being open to build an identity away from simply being a wife and mother, which it is very apparent to me that Steph has allowed her to explore.
Allowed?
She just comes out to crap on it every couple of years. I mean, to me, we all have a role to play in our life and our various relationships, and I don't know if she needed more dating experience or to get out the mud on her own. But to me, she really just comes off as if she had a full ride at Jada's school of embarrassing your husband. I mean, you would never catch LeBron's wife on this shit. Out here taking backstage photos with Drake. Like, she won't even take a picture with a male fan because she knows the narratives that could spark from that. And I want to make it clear, in no way am I saying that women need to, like, sit back and be silent and try and look good, or that they can't have an identity outside of their family or their husband. If anything, I think the exact opposite. I think that those things are very healthy. I'm just saying that it seems like every time she opens her mouth, it's always bad and embarrassing. Like, maybe she just needs to stop doing these interviews. I don't really know what the solution is. But yes, every time she goes viral, it's for something like this. But either way, I do want to know what you guys think about.
Okay, so that was just to kind of the whole thing was just to get a little background. I mean, I feel like he did a decent job at it. I do have the actual interview, but Jason, you what is it that you had a problem with? And then also you said you had a clip from back in the day. You told me this is not new.
Yeah, so it's been going on for quite a while now, and we'll get to a snippet of an explanation about what's really going on. Well, potentially, right? It's just people weighing in on it, right? But I think when it came across my feed recently, and I remember it previously, I think what bothers me about this, it's what's not being said in relationship to this. And this is not something that's new, though. This happens all throughout people's experiences. And more often than not, it's usually not publicized. We tend to see the guy, though, because typically relationships, usually fall apart because of a man, right? And this is just social. It's kind of what we've accepted. And so anytime it doesn't, and it happens on the female side, it's kind of like, what? Really? Oh, I wonder how that happened, whatever the case may be. But there's this thing that I feel like is running in the background. And one, I think what really aggravated me the most is that when you're trying to accomplish something and you have a teammate per se, right? And you got somebody that's rocking with you. We already know the importance of branding. And this does absolutely nothing for her, for him. Damn sure don't do shit for her kids. And if anything, what you're doing is you're publicly opening up a door. You are publicly saying to men that I am not satisfied. And the problem when you're doing that, when you're dealing with the male species, it's not so much to say, well, I can decide and whoop-de-whoop. You fucking up. And I don't know the people that's around her. I will say, though, I did find this fascinating. I honestly believe that women sometimes are you guys are your own worst enemies. And what I mean by that is your friends. And I see this shit happen so often, and it's the conversations that are happening in the background. And I have really strong opinions about that. And I see it more so on the female side than men, because there's certain areas you just don't touch with men. Like, I'm not finna tell you shit about your wife. Not generally speaking. We might have a conversation, a point of discussion, but we move on. Y'all a little different in how I've seen you guys bring shit back up and then follow back in, because you're emotionally aware. So you're going to check back in. But what I feel like it does is it keeps these doors open. And I think that's one of my issues, because he's trying his best. And again, I sound like I'm really on his side, and I don't really know him personally.
Right.
But at the same time, you gotta sometimes call a spade a spade. Now,
why doesn't he say that he has a problem with it? That's where I'm
because
at
he
with
can't
it.
say anything.
Why
Because
not?
the moment he acknowledges something like that, what you just did, right? Again, you're giving fodder to the adversary, right? You're throwing logs on the fire. And believe it or not, there's a lot of competition between men, right? We've highlighted that in multiple a variety of different ways. We see this on a regular basis, but men do often compete with other men, right? That's just a part of our sometimes that's a part of our ego. Well, there's a lot of things that he would never talk about openly, not right now, right? Maybe down the road, maybe, but no, because what you're doing is you're feeding, and then he's in a competitive sport on top of that. So them niggas is gonna use that shit against him. All this shit that she's talking about, all this little stuff, all the little open doors that she's giving, you're giving inside access to an issue that you have that's going to be used against him. And it's one of the things that I've heard is that a woman can be your greatest supporter, but she can be the quickest thing to a man's downfall. The person that you choose to walk with. And it really disturbs me, because I guarantee you, in her statement about, well, and I've been in therapy about this a lot. I don't know who the fuck you talking about or who you've been talking to, but you over here discussing it like this, you damn sure wasn't somebody who's really aware of what the real deal is. Because there's no way that you should air this kind of shit publicly. Not this.
That she doesn't. So what exactly did she air? What part did you have a problem with? I guess. I mean, you're not the only one, obviously, that has an issue, but what is it that she's saying or doing? And I see you guys' comments, so I'm reading the comments as they come along. For me, I'm just really just trying to understand. I just didn't have the same reaction to it. I just don't see what the big deal is. But apparently, there's a lot of people. Now, I do believe that there are things that you keep private, but I also respect the fact that, people, they handle things differently, and there may be things, I guess, in some people's marriages that they're not tripping on. And then other people, they do. And you do have to be careful with the internet, with social media. I get all of that. I mean, I look at it too as, because I could relate to some things that she said personally, right? And I'm like, I feel that completely. And now, whether you should say that publicly, yes, we could talk about it. But I feel like she could also be helping women who feel the same way. Fuck Steph Curry. Maybe it's not about Steph Curry. Why is this about him? Fuck him. This is about, they met at 15 years old, and she has her own issues, right? And we don't know what necessarily those issues are. We're saying she's insecure, could be, but
you can't say
wrong?
And I think that's terribly unfair, because if the shoe were on the other foot, you wouldn't say it would be okay for us to say, well, fuck her, she's irrelevant to the problem, or she's irrelevant to the issue, you wouldn't be okay with that. And matter of fact, the guy in the video just made a good point. He said the optics alone of her doing this ring gesture and shit like that, if he were to have done that, motherfuckers would have lost their mind about that. And
But
all
she have
common
lost her mind.
tropes, the hell yeah, she would have. And all of the common tropes about men not respecting women and he doesn't respect his vows, and why would you put your wife out there like that? That would be the concern, because again, she's the vulnerable part, right? So why would you play her? Why would you play in her face like that? So if he were run like a lot of these other athletes who get caught up doing this, that, and the third, it's always the same common tropes, the same common scenarios, the same common commentary about it. On the other hand, I don't think it's fair, right? And in the same way, if we're going to hold them to that same standard, we're going to have to hold her in this case to that same standard, because what she's clearly doing, again, outside of the male aspect of dealing with the things that I know he's going to come under fire for, there are some things you just don't discuss publicly. Not that.
Mm-hmm.
Because all that she's doing, and I think SD or matter of fact, it might have been Susan was talking about she's just seeking for attention. No, Tia said that, right? She's just seeking for attention. We know this when it comes to children. Children who feel like they don't get attention are going to do it. They're going to behave one way or another. So oftentimes, kids who are quote unquote labeled as bad or disruptive children are children who are seeking for attention. And when they don't get positive attention, they'll accept attention any way it comes. So even if it's negative reinforcement, or if it's because based on a punishment, you're still feeding the need. The need is, I need people to see me. I need to feel seen. Well, here's the problem with that, though. From a life transformative standpoint, there's nothing wrong with you needing to be seen. The problem is that you're dealing with it in the wrong way, because your need to be seen is not to feed that part of your ego publicly. That's where you do your work at. Because, and we see this when it comes to social media interactions. We see this with what we classify sometimes as men who go through midlife crises, start changing their life dramatically, doing these weird shit. And then the women are just kind of like, in the family's like, yo, like you deviating completely from who you were, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. The same way we say in those cases, they're attempting to feel something that's an internal void with external means. You can't feel the internal with anything external. That's the problem I have with what she's doing and the type of attention she's bringing to this issue. There's a myriad of ways you can go about it. Create a fucking podcast and talk about life as a wife, or life as an entrepreneur, or whatever the case may be. What you're doing is you're going on and talking about, look at me. Nobody's talking about me. Who the fuck are you?
That's the problem right there. That's the problem.
But that's the real issue, right? Create your identity.
Well, she has one, but nobody asks about it. Even in
again, because it doesn't register. That doesn't mean anything. The people that see, that's the thing. Like if we were to play it on the other end, right? And we know, and as a woman, you know this. You know when women lack attention, what that does. Right? You know what that does. When women are not given the attention that they need, we know what doors that open. As men, right? If you consider, I'll take off my therapist hat, right? If we're sharks out here, we smell blood in the water. Those doors, we know when that shit is there. I had a friend of mine tell me this one time. He said, man, you know, it's really interesting. He said, I get more attention from married women than I do from single women. And we had a cool little discussion, laughed and chuckled about it. But the truth of the matter is is shooting fish in the barrel. She has a clear issue with what she's currently surrounded by. That's easy work. And I don't know, ladies, if you guys really understand this. When you're in a situation and you're unhappy and you're out here interfacing with other niggas, you are easy work.
Why are we saying that she's unhappy? She's never said that.
She said she's unhappy.
No, she didn't.
She did say that. Matter of fact,
not in the interview I saw, the one she did in August, unless there's another one.
Hold on. Okay. All right. Kents, I can appreciate you weighing in on that.
No, fuck that. I said that.
No. Oh, yeah, you did mention that earlier.
Go ahead.
But no, I appreciate it. So let's go ahead and highlight that though.
Okay.
All right. So Kents, here we go. Let's deal with it. The first piece on this one would be the word seem, right? Because again, you got to remember this about where he's at. Everything he does, whatever he says and does, can and will be held against him, period, point blank. LeBron James is the poster child for this. It doesn't matter what the fuck. Somebody just sued him recently because of the niggas went on a podcast and said he's not retiring yet. And the dude said, you sent me through emotional turmoil. Because he said that I'm not retiring. Are you fucking kidding me? So it doesn't matter. So here's the thing, that the dynamic that they're dealing with. Everything they say, and it can and will be held against them. So for him to come out and say, yeah, I don't agree with what she's saying. Yeah, this is not cool. Wooty, wooty, woot. Well, now there's trouble in paradise. What you just told everybody in the world is that what's supposed to be a united front is no longer united. And what you're doing is you're now advertising females and males. Circle the wagon. Circle the wagon. Believe it. And I don't think people realize, like, you know, when it comes to the male piece, right, or females and their attraction towards power. And she highlighted that point, right? Like, man, these women, I see this all the time. They throw themselves at him, but they don't throw themselves at men. Don't throw themselves at me. Well, one, that's not how we operate, typically speaking. And two, I can honestly say, I really think it has more to do with the fact of who he is. It's not that she's not attractive. She's an attractive woman, period. Yeah, we've seen some of the women niggas have dealt with. Just in general, men, women, the whole 9 yards. That's no. There's no issue with her looks. It could very well be that the perception, oh yeah, they good. It's almost like somebody trying to hit on Michelle Obama, you know. And again, I think she's very attractive, personally. I don't know what the whole hoopla was, but getting back to the point, I think she's very attractive.
Okay,
but with her opening that door, so yeah, he's not only, the problem with that is he's not going to be able to say anything publicly, because anything he says, they gonna circle the wagon. They're letting you know, oh yeah, there's a problem on the home front. So he's got to stand and he's got to be in the position. So there was another podcast that she came out on, and this is what she said. She said, well, he tries to understand, but he really doesn't get it. He doesn't get me. He doesn't understand what I'm dealing with. Wooty, wooty, woo, right? And they kind of gave some scenarios or whatever, but she was kind of reiterated the same point. It's like, well, you know, because he has all of this and I don't, right? This is what this comes off as, is that what you're really showing is that you're jealous of the spotlight that your husband has, and you don't feel like it's a shared spotlight. So
I just don't see it. I don't get it. I don't see it. I need to see video that supports that. I only have the interview she just did in August. I don't, and then I have everybody's opinion, and I get it. But I'm gonna play unless you have something you want to play. I'm gonna play a piece of the interview, because I feel like it really, I feel like a lot of things are being taken out of context in these little clips that people are seeing, and it happens. I get it. I don't know why I just feel like she's getting the short end of the stick because she's speaking, and I know
Her truth.
the mentality. Well, she's talking about how she feels about things, and it's an unpopular opinion, and because she's saying it in that moment, that's how she felt. She's never said that she doesn't want to be with her husband. She's never said she doesn't want to be married to him. She's never none of that. Neither has he. But everybody else is saying it because she's saying, I didn't want kids, I didn't want this, I didn't want that. And he and recently I have a quote here from Steph Curry, and he was talking to Killer Mike, and this was recent because Killer Mike put up a post that said, my nigga said she want to go be Glow, talking about Ayesha. Man, Steph doesn't deserve the embarrassment, for real, for real. God bless him.
That
Now,
part.
Steph's direct response to Killer Mike was, no, not you, Mike. I'm cool staying silent and letting these other clowns have their moment. And you're the worst of them. And he's talking about somebody else. He tagged somebody else. But you're better than that, Mike. Stay in your lane and let God keep blessing me like he is. We're good over here. And he put the deuces. Now that was Steph's words. Now we're gonna switch that and say he didn't mean that.
No. He made that statement. He made that statement to Killer Mike. Killer Mike actually was on a podcast after that statement, and that was brought up. And they asked him about it, and Killer Mike's response was very poignant. And he was like, listen, it really wasn't meant to be as harsh as it came off. That really wasn't my intention, but I respect the way he approached it. And, heart to heart, man to man, my apologies, right? So he owned it in that respect, right? No problem there. Steph said exactly what he needed to say. Absolutely. But I still don't think you're hearing the full dynamic. One of the things that I think, and this happens a lot, is sometimes, how we say, there's an old book, it says, what is it? Men are from Mars and women are from Venus, or something like that.
Yeah.
And that whole conversation piece is usually aimed at the fact that sometimes we're often saying the same thing. We're just not understanding the words that are being used. In a situation like this, yes, you are saying, yeah, well, she didn't say this and he didn't say that. I get that part. I feel like that part just hasn't came out yet. But what I think a lot of people are catching on to and really disturbed by, just like with Killer Mike, is like, look, this man, this is the equivalent of somebody you hold in high regard. This is the equivalent of Michelle Obama doing a twerk video. Michelle Obama doing a motherfucking twerk video. This is the equivalent of that. And we know who her husband is. We know what that power couple represents to the culture, right? And again, they are people. I get that. That's fair. But what I really feel like, again, is that what the issue is that you're airing out a personal concern. That is a personal point of origin issue. That should not be something talked about publicly. Not that. There's a way in which you talk about it, but the way in
which part? If she should,
her insecurity, the fact that she doesn't feel like she has an identity, the fact that she's struggling to find her place, not knowing where she fits into the whole puzzle.
What is wrong with that? I don't know what's wrong with that. That is a common feeling of a lot of people who are married. I don't care whether it's a man or female. So I hear what you're saying in reference to like a Michelle Obama and because I love that couple, right? So if one of them was to disrespect the other, my heart would be broken. Right. It would be, I must say, okay, publicly, on the platform. I get it. I don't look at Steph and Ayesha in that same light So I wouldn't have the same emotion towards them. I guess if you did, maybe, right? But I just I mean, I'm trying to, because I'm trying to be fair in the sense that they are a couple in the limelight. They are people still. She is very young. They are both are young, but let me play a piece
But
of the
yeah,
most
and while
recent
you're preparing
podcast.
that, to Kent's comment, yes, she can have her own aspirations. That's not the issue. It's the way in which you're going about expressing it. And I think that's the problem. Because again, there's a lot of people that have a bunch of businesses outside of stuff. There's shit. We didn't hear shit from a lot of people, Stedman included. But they went about their business and how they dealt with it. And I think that's the issues, because you guys are you just the way in which she's going about it. I think that's where the problem comes in. That not so much that she can't have it. She can. She should, if that's her thing. But it's how you're going about it is the issue.
And Susan, I think that I don't think it's safe to assume they don't talk to each other. I'm sure they probably do. I'm sure they're husband and wife. I'm sure they all know what's going on the internet, right? Okay, so here we go. Let me share this. Oh shoot, I have it on silent. Hold on.
It's a double-edged sword.
Wait, let me see.
There are a lot of people in sports that don't obviously have to go through as much of the conversation around like fame and spotlight as you and your husband have had to. How did being in the spotlight impact your relationship in the early days, because you guys didn't know how to handle it?
It's a double-edged sword, because parts of it have afforded me doors to be open. I obviously have to walk through them and then put in the work to stay in the room. But that, I think, would be the elephant in the room, is like, I'm grateful for that side of things. But on the flip side, I in the beginning hated it so much. I did not sign up for that. I also always thought, like, I didn't know that he was going to end up playing basketball. Like, he said he wanted to be a high school basketball coach.
Okay.
Right there. There it is. So to Truth and your statement and Kent's about her emotional state being dismissed, can she this? The issue that she just identified is the problem. You did not see him as being over you and his career being greater, quote unquote, greater than yours. So you married him under the pretense that you were going to be the breadwinner and that he was going to be on your coattails. That's the issue. Because to bring up, I didn't know he was going to be this great mega superstar. I thought he was going to be a high school fucking basketball coach. So that's your talking point? That you thought that your husband was going to be somebody that was menial while you were the one that was going to be standing out front.
So she had big dreams for herself and didn't know. But let her finish her thought. She's still in the middle of her thought. Okay.
Like, I thought I was gonna be like the girl out there getting it. So I didn't know. And so it just, like, it was weird. And sports fans are so different than, like, maybe entertainment world fans, and oftentimes it's, like, very ruthless. And so I think I wasn't expecting that either. I remember, like, one time right after my first was born, she was whiny, so I was like, let me just nurse her in the back seat. And Stefan was putting a bike or something in the trunk, and this woman, like, opens the car door and she sticks her head in and she's like, I just wanted to see the baby. And I'm like, oh, excuse me. And she looks me dead in my face and goes, oh, honey, you know what you signed up for. And then, like, shuts the door on me. And I was just crying because I was, like, postpartum. I was just bawling my eyes out. And I'm like, what? Like, is this what it's going to be like?
Wow.
And so the beginning phases were kind of scary for me.
Okay, so she finished her complete thought. So what I'm hearing her say, and again, I'm just kind of watching this, but what I'm hearing her say is that I didn't know what this was going to mean and what this looked like. And to be fair, obviously he didn't either. Neither one of them knew. And a lot of us in marriages or relationships, we don't know what we're signing up for because shit changes, right? Now she said that was in the beginning, and that didn't sound problematic to me. But to your point, Jason, you said that she you said that she thought that she was going to be the breadwinner, which she said that she didn't know. She thought he was going to be this, and had all these big plans.
He was going to be on her coattail, not the and so again, it's the distinction of minds versus yours. That's the mentality. He doesn't strike me as having that mentality. As a matter of fact, men are often taught against that mentality, that it's ours. So we've already heard, we hear women have said over the decades and generations, right? What's mine is ours, yours is mine, ours, or whatever the case may be, however that little statement goes, right? So the idea is that we are shared, right? Common property, right? The legal system says, listen, if we're together for this amount of time, then everything earned at this point now becomes joint ownership between the two people, right? Because there's an assumption that it's ours, right? It's not, and it's the assumption is not, it's all mine. We criticized our grandparents for when the men had the assumption that, hey, because I work, this is all mine, right? We clearly can say that's a problem, right? And that's not fair to the person you're with. But on the flip side, what she basically is saying to me is that what I was expecting was for me to have control of all this shit and for him to be on my coattails. That to me says this, that you are in a situation where you're competing with the fucking person that's supposed to be your partner. That is not the purpose of marriage, nor is that no shit that nobody wants to sign up for. I don't give a fuck what you motherfuckers do. I don't care how many times, how many great business deals you settle. I don't give a fuck how many books I write, how my name is on some marquee somewhere, my picture's all over the fucking news. Who cares? I don't care about that. And I'm not with you with the expectation that you should now give a fuck about all that anyway, because it's us against them. Us against them, period. Our household, period. In the discussion, right? But so my problem with that, though, and from a personal standpoint, is one, I've dealt with this. And number two, though, looking at the optics and how it is, and Truth made a good point. Let's take the title out. You can't take the title out because the optics make a difference because of the context. So when you are, right, there's a great Marvel quote. Other people have used that quote as well. They said, with great power comes great responsibility. There are certain things that we enjoy as regular people because of anonymity. I can walk out my door, nobody's taking photos of me. I can go to the store, nobody's sweating me, asking me for fucking autographs all day long and having to navigate that. So our dynamic, our context is a little bit different when you concern that. So to take the title out means that you remove the context.
Okay.
So again, I am also not, so don't hear what I'm not saying. I'm not saying that she shouldn't have a concern about that. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is the method in which you're using to express this publicly is the issue.
You don't like the going on the interviews.
Because again,
has she said it anywhere else? This interview, you said there was another one. Did she do another interview?
Yeah, this shit's been going on. Matter of fact, we got a couple minutes. Let me play this. Now, this is actually not really talking about specifically. It doesn't show what she said. All those videos I sent you were things that she was saying. And she said in multiple different arenas, multiple different times, yes, to Tia's statement earlier, hey, this sounds like it's old. Yeah, she was saying it shit then, and 6 years later, she's still talking about it. Right? She's still talking about these same types of things. You know, the whole when he asked me to send nudes, I send him feet pictures because that's what he likes. What she's basically saying is I don't feel comfortable on my skin because I don't think he cares about that. Again, she's talking and sharing all kinds of shit because during that same
that's
earlier,
what you took from that.
hold on, because there's a context to this. If you go back and listen to what her complaints was after she had the baby, she was talking about her weight, and her concern was about her figure, her shape, all that shit. And people on the internet, and she just alluded to it here about the fandom, women are vicious on the internet when it comes to other women. They critiqued her face, they critique her size, and this is women now. This ain't niggas doing this
No,
shit.
she says that in this interview. Yeah.
Yeah, it's women doing that.
Yeah.
That critique
Yeah.
her and how she's not good enough to be with him, and she sees all the women that gives him attention.
So she was right. Okay, so she's insecure, or she has insecurities, like most of us. So what's the problem with that?
All of us. Again, there's nothing wrong with being human. It's the way in which you go about it. It's
you
the
just
way
don't
in
like
which
saying it outside.
it's the method she's using and how she's discussing it and the way in which she is. If you listen to someone like, again, you can't say just because they're presidential, but it's the character, right? Michelle Obama has talked ad nauseum about the things that President Obama did. She's talked about how he was kind of lame and just a nerd, and she was like, "I'm not doing this, and I'm not doing wooty wooty whoop," right? And it's how you go about talking about these things. The issue for me, I think, is what you're doing is you're tearing him down in the process, and you're tearing down the entire like all your shit for the sake of saying my ego needs to be seen. Fuck ego. Now we can say fuck ego when it comes to men, and it's easy. It's always okay to say that. But when a woman is dealing with her ego, then we never want to deal with that, and we want to minimize that and say, well, she has feelings, she's entitled to them. I mean, fuck your feelings. Keep that shit in your therapy sessions. Talk to your people. Do something constructive with it. But to air this shit out here publicly, where niggas like the rest of these niggas can talk about it, come on, man. It's the way in which she's going about it. I don't have a problem being human. We all are. We all got insecurities. We all have them. It's how you air the motherfuckers. And you're not even aware of what the fuck you're doing and how you're doing and how you're affecting your bottom line at the end of the day. And we already know the sensitivity to a person building their brand. This man has an unbelievable, remarkable brand. And do you know what you know what this is doing to that brand? I'm going to tell you what it's doing to that brand. Nobody is looking at Steph Curry from a negative light. What they're doing is they're giving him sympathy for her ass. And now, if you think it was bad before, the pressure that you just opened, you just hopped your ass into a pressure cooker. Because now what you're doing is public opinion is a motherfucker. And everybody's looking at he's a great person. He's doing wonderful things, and this motherfucker sitting here trying to tear his shit apart, trying to tear down all that they doing. Women ain't even going for it. Do you know how many women I've heard sit here going ham? Like, bitch, you got the motherfucking bag, and you finna squander the bag because you want some regular niggas to talk to you? There ain't nobody out here on this nigga's level, and you want some regular niggas to talk to you? Bitch, I'll sign up. I'm telling you what other women are saying. You didn't look at the videos I sent you. Those were women commenting.
Right.
These are other women that are just
now,
like,
let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. I want to, because I don't know what, I honestly, I'm having the hard time trying to figure out and it's maybe I'll never understand. Maybe I just won't understand. And I hate saying that, you guys, without having
more
it's
details.
like I feel like I'm not able to really let you have you guys express myself in a way where you can understand what
Can
I'm
I play
trying.
this video with Kevin
Me to
Samuels?
stop.
Yeah,
Let me
hold on.
stop.
Let me play this video for you guys. Now, if you haven't heard of this, now again, Kevin Samuels. If you've ever heard anything about him, it's usually not something good or positive, right? He was very pro male, and he had a huge following at one point. He died in 2022. But he was known for being brutally honest about whatever his take was, whether it was male or female, brutally honest. And a lot of women would actually call into, majority of his fans were women. They would call into, and he would just listen, break down. And to me, I felt like what he was saying was harsh, right? So I never followed his work. It wasn't until the latter years that I started to notice what he was actually saying once I got beyond the optics. Anyway, he weighed on this. I know. See, can't. Yeah, I know. But he weighed on this, and one thing I can say, there's a couple people out there. You may not like Charleston White. You may not agree with how he goes about what he does, but you cannot deny that he be speaking, and he be speaking facts. His methods, how he goes about it, the words, how he articulates himself, all of that's questionable. I can't say I agree with everything or even how his antics that he does, questionable, right? But he also has talked about that. And he talks about he's working the system the way he's seen that it works. But when you get beyond that, if you listen to what he's saying, you can't really argue with what he's saying. Because again, he may say, instead of RIP to somebody that died in the industry, you're like, fuck them. And let me tell you why I say fuck them. Fuck the dead. Fuck him too. Fuck his mama and all them, because they supported this shit. And he'll turn around and say, y'all didn't say nothing to him when he was out here peddling drugs to these kids. You didn't say nothing to him about that, but you want to say something to me because I said fuck him and his whole platform. Again, you may not agree with how he goes about it, but the man be speaking. So there's several people I can mention that are kind of controversial with how they approach things. But if you get beyond that, Kevin Samuels made a statement years ago. Again, he died in 2022. This was 3 years. This is well before 3 years ago. But again, this is how this dates, because he commented on understanding something, a unique aspect that I don't think people saw, but they're seeing it now. He saw this shit way back when. Oh, let me share this. Hold on. I don't have no sound. Let me see something.
Jealous of him. She's jealous because I'm sitting at home, pumped out 3 kids, and he's on TV every day. He's getting all the fame. He's getting all the red carpet treatment. He's getting all this. And only time she gets attention is attention to get the flex to her. We wouldn't know about Ayesha if it wasn't Steph. He tries to put her in the spotlight. He tries to put her front and center. And guess what? If she had what it takes, she'd already be there. And that's what's not being told. I fear this is what's going to happen. She's going to end up divorcing him. It's going to get to a point where it is intolerable. She's already put it out there. It's out in the ether, and she's getting drugged by men. And people are actually looking at her like, what the hell is wrong with you?
Yes,
So she's going to have to pipe that down.
Okay,
She's not going to be able to say much about anything. But it is going to tear
hold on.
apart.
Let me see. How can we fix that? Because it's coming from.
Turn your mic down. No,
I can try.
It's me. Yeah.
Let me try to turn. Let me turn that down in good. All right, so let's see if that helps a little bit.
Okay.
Tear him apart, because at the
Any
end
better?
of the day, she thinks she's up here and she thinks he's down here. It is not going to change. She does not view Steph Curry as the NBA All-Star World Champion basketball player. She views Steph Curry as this guy that her mom and dad, her parents told her, you need to marry and secure the bag. She didn't want to be there. She would have rather been a struggling actress in Hollywood, trying to get bit parts in commercials, trying to be an extra here, or trying to get a print commercial or something, while ended up dating whoever. Honestly, she should have been happy that way. I know too many women like this. Trust me, I've seen this in my life. She's close enough to where she actually thinks she could do just fine. The bad thing is she's seen too many women kind of do this kind of thing. What has Ayesha done? Other than married to Steph Curry. But that's not going to change anything. This is going to nag at her, nag at them, until she ends up. When you marry a woman who thinks she's better than you, when you're with somebody who is ultimately going to be jealous of you, who can't play their role, does not like the spotlight being on you, you're signing up for a life of misery. There's going to be this passive, aggressive, low-level contempt for you, because at the end of the day, you really not what she wanted. She wanted something completely else, and she's living a life that somebody else planned for her. And even though it's probably the best thing for her, she thinks.
Man, listen. The breakdown of that is one of the things I think for me when he talked about this. And again, when he initially talked about it, I didn't agree. But fast forward several years after and we see where we're at, it's like, oh, I see what you're saying now. Right? That competition, and this is the thing I was going to bring up too, is the notion that I'm better than. You gave me a piece of wisdom one time, and I think this bears repeating now. But the piece of wisdom you said that Auntie gave to you, what did she tell you when it came to you finding a mate?
Make sure he loves you more than you love him.
Period. So that the power dynamic doesn't shift. You maintain power dynamic. That's what she highlighted, is that if you are more in love with him than he is in you, the scale shift. And so now he has more quote unquote power in that dynamic, because the fear of leaving will weigh heavily on whoever has the least amount of power in that type of dynamic.
Mm-hmm.
What I think she was saying with the whole notion of him being in this position versus her being what she saw herself as being in that position, therein is that's the problem I have with all of that. It's not the issue is not you having the issue. It's how you're opening it up. Because what you're telling more than what you think you're telling. And even the whole time period, if you look at the timestamp of when she made that statement about those fucking feet, and look at her body posture, her kinesics, look at how what her stance was at that point, her tone, inflection, all of that. What you're showing, you're telling more than what you think you're telling. Get the fuck off of social media and out of people's sight about shit like that. Talk about who the fuck you are.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of couples that don't never really bring up their spouse, no matter who that spouse is. That's not the main highlight. And there's a way in which you redirect motherfuckers down the road you want them to go, because again, you're the guest, right? If you don't want to talk about that, there's two ways to handle it. You either get the fuck up or you redirect the comments and get back to what it is that you were.
But do you think that she should, because in her interview, she does talk about all the things she's doing with women. It's in the interview, but those aren't the pieces that get played over and over. Okay. That's not what people want to hear. So that's not what is going on. So but she talks about, so now,
I agree.
So do you think that she
should
negotiate when she
yeah, absolutely,
that she should not talk about, because I hear wait, do you think
I think so
that she should say I refuse? No, okay, so you say yes.
We're not gonna. I'll give you a good one. Cameron, who's a rapper some years ago, he's got a podcast, right? He was on CNN, right? And they had him up there because he was supposed to be talking about his products that he got and his podcast. Well, then the interviewer started talking about Puff Daddy and some other shit. And he was like, yo, I'm not here for that. He redirected the whole conversation. Now, if you say that's because he had male privilege, maybe. But I've also heard, but I think it has something to do with the fact of him knowing, listen, you're not finna pigeonhole me into no conversation that's dead ended. I'm not up here for that. I'm up here to talk about the work that I'm doing. And if we're not going to talk about that, as a matter of fact, they do that all the time, right? Athletes go through that all the time. I'll be playing, LeBron might be playing a game over here. They're going to ask him about some shit Kyrie did over there in New York. And we're not even on the same team. We're not even under the same umbrella. So what do I have to do with that? What I'm saying, what I think for her would be fair to her husband and her family and everything that they got, that they're building collectively and collaboratively, redirect that shit. Because again, some pain is not for open commentary.
Yeah, I guess that's just at the end of the day. I guess that's just a matter of opinion. I mean, all of it's opinion. I get it. Yeah. I mean, hey, I'm with it. I'm with it. I'm like, go for it. What's her name? Ayesha.
You don't even know her.
Let it rock, baby. Let it rock. Piss them off. Let them rock. Because listen, it is at the end of the day, and in this interview, watch
playing it smart. I know that.
Yeah, she's not playing her part. Oh,
she's not playing it smart.
Oh, smart.
She ain't playing it smart at all.
Yeah, and she might not be. She might not be, and I'm okay with that.
You
for
opening
me.
the door. Do you know how many women are going
Let me say this.
are running
It
with
don't
this?
matter.
It do matter.
Let me tell you why it don't matter. Why I'm saying that. Let me say this first. One thing that Kevin said is they're not gonna last. Okay, and I know that that's just his opinion. How old is that video? And they're still together. We don't know whether they're gonna last or not. And it's a lot of people that feel a certain kind of way about it. But it's like, I feel like all these expectations are set up. She's not Michelle, and I don't even look at her even remotely close to be that. And even without the fame, I don't. I don't speak about my husband on.
You talk about him all the time.
No, I don't talk about things that matter. I don't talk about things that would upset him. I do not.
Okay.
Because
you know why you don't? You respect him.
I respect him, and I know it's going to upset him. But But this is the thing. But my husband, it wouldn't be okay, and he wouldn't pretend like it is. It would be definitely not okay, because we've been there. And I had to delete a video. This is years ago. And I never did it again. Whereas, but that's him. He's not okay with it. Famous or not, if Steph had a problem, I give him enough credit to think they could have a conversation and pull it together as being on the same page. But if he is saying to her and to us that I know what I have and I'm okay with it, why aren't we okay with it? Why are we making an issue out of it? And I mean, now let me say this too, because we can learn from everybody's situation, and there's so many women that feel like Ayesha, and whether you can understand it as a man or my neighbor next door can understand it is irrelevant. I can understand it, and there's other women who can understand her point of view. And I don't care about his brand. They're rich already. When he is not, nope, he's not losing no money. She's got money. He's got money. They've got money. They're in a safe space. Who gives a damn? He's not losing. She's been saying this shit as long as you said she's been saying it, and ain't shit happened to them yet. Why are we worried about it now?
Let me say this. In the video that we seen where she talked about that foot picture, if you replay that section, she makes a statement, right? She makes a statement about he may not like that I just said this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm inclined to believe that there are plenty of things that he's probably said, but she don't give a fuck. Because on another interview, she says, well, yeah, well, baby, it's why are you worried about it? It's not true. Well, you just don't understand, right? Type shit. So then
That's
she
what
still
told her. Yeah,
he told her
Uh-huh.
it's not true. Like, well, I don't want to get in. I don't care about all that, right? Because I don't look at you like that. Why does it matter? Do you know how earlier in this conversation, matter of fact, in this podcast, you came on, you played a song. I'm bobbing to the song. Your response is, well, is it too slow? Now, mind you, you played a song and I'm vibing to it, but that didn't matter because it doesn't matter what the fuck I say. It doesn't matter how I felt about it because I clearly said that I'm fucking with that by my actions. I clearly am showing you I'm vibing with it. I'm not out the camera. I'm not cutting it off. I'm not saying, yo, that's some bullshit. I'm like, okay, boom, moving on. And then you stop it. And then you say, well, you're not helping me. I am helping you. It's just that the help that I'm giving you, you don't give a fuck about. Because what matters is what you think about it. So then you find another song that's still on the same fucking list. And then you play it. Hold on. I'm not finished yet. I'm not finished yet. What I'm saying is this is the common shit that we keep seeing. So you don't see that. I get that. But just like how here we're talking about this, it was the exact same type of scenario. I'm giving you mine. How many times do men say, listen, I love what you're wearing. You don't give a fuck what he says. And what matters is them bitches and them other judgmental ass motherfuckers on the outside because you are a part of them. You're one of them. So I'm going to change my outfit 7 fucking times, even though the nigga said, I like it. And on the flip side, this nigga has one thing. You say, I don't like it. Fuck it. I'm finna wear the motherfucker anyway. Because I don't give a fuck about what people think. I don't care about how that looks in some cases, right? Now, granted, we're not all perfect like that. There are some things we are sensitive about, some things we are not sensitive about. I'm not making it all about that. But what I am saying is that sometimes for you to say it doesn't matter, it does, because the things that he's probably are saying, again, do we know? No. But what we do know is she clearly said that you just told the whole fucking world he got a foot fetish and you took your bedroom and put it out in the fucking public. That's what you just did. I send him pictures of my fucking feet because he likes that and he might not like that. I'm just saying this. Bitch, shut the fuck up then. You know he wouldn't like that. Why would he want that out there? That he likes feet? Who gives a fuck if that's his own personal thing? Again, you should have some privacy. Do we hear him talking about the shit you like? Oh yeah, she likes to suck dick. How about that?
Why do you think he stays? Why do you think he stays?
I think there's a lot of reasons why men end up staying. And in particular, and SD mentions or Truth said something a second ago, was like, well, you know, the parents are divorced, or SD or Truth may have said this, was like, well, you know, the parents are divorced too. So, you know, they're not really good examples or something. I'm not sure where that came in from, but I will say this. Sometimes people stay, especially when you want to do better than what you saw and you want to give your kids better than what you had. I can personally say I stayed well past my time because I'm thinking of the optics. Again, I'm not Steph Curry, but I was a pastor though. I did have a following. I had a congregation. I had people that were looking up towards what we were ultimately doing. And then even after that, I have a daughter. I have kids. I have a son. I have 2 sons. I don't want them raised in a household like that. So much so that even my stepson, quote unquote, I was like, I don't want him to have a different last name. I want him to have my name. I don't want them to have to answer those questions. I want them to be able to be cool and let them do their thing. So again, sometimes we stay for a lot of reasons. That doesn't mean that it's right, and nor does it mean that it's healthy just because we decide to. How many old couples do we know of that were fucking miserable, yet they stayed together? That is not a barometer of success.
I feel she should be able to say whatever she wants.
Yeah. And you know, and I get that, and that's okay. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. What I'm saying is, you can, but just know this.
I stand by my husband, but never quiet.
But just know this: you can say what the fuck you want, Charlie Kirk. You can say what you want. You can say what you want, Trump. You can say what the fuck you want. But just know that there are consequences to the things we speak. Period. So if you're okay with navigating that space, then be okay with that. But what I'm also saying is, when you're in a situation like that, and Kent's, if K1, I'm pretty sure that's K2 saying that. I don't know. That's a judgment.
Wait, which one is it? Let's see how right nigga.
I don't know.
That's a different. That's a different. Wait, that shit was funny.
I don't know.
Wait, you said that shit came out too quick, Jace. Go ahead.
No, because K2 is really he's active. Like, hey, fuck this, you know, type shit. But so it's K1. Okay, so look. So look.
Y'all stupid. You guys are stupid.
See? Okay, I corrected myself. Okay,
yeah, that was funny.
Okay, I made an ass out of myself in that respect. But what I'm saying is, if K2, then you guys are a collective. You guys are together. You guys are a couple. You guys are supposed to be, ideally speaking, indivisible, right? Ideally speaking. What he does affects you. Even when it comes to your business, the type of shit you're trying to do, if he's a loose fucking cannon, it can affect you. So out of respect for the person that I'm with, cuzzo, this nigga right here is a loose cannon. She can be. She tempers herself because she knows she can go hard in the paint. And everybody's feelings will be fucked up, right? So she tempers herself. And as she alluded to, there are things that he does not like. He is not an abusive person. He's not not terribly demanding, at least as far as I'm aware of. But the fact is, she loves him enough to say, listen, I know he's uncomfortable with this, so I'm going to pivot this way. He's not the type that's going to try to prevent me from living my life, but at the same time, I can at least give him that respect. So I say that to say this: I do not think it is fair to take that mentality when you are connected to another individual and you chose to be connected to him. I don't think that's fair. I think there is a line you have to toe, and you have to be mindful of that line, because there are some things you say.
I will say this. Yes. Because and me saying everything I've said.
You did not catch it straight. You did not. I was not. That was. I just assumed it was you typing. That's all it was.
Yeah. So I mean, I just feel like I know, like, okay, I'll speak for myself. I guess for me too, it's like, if it was something as a wife, okay, and my husband is not on the internet, TikTok don't count.
Because he be on TikTok.
He be on that motherfucker for real. He might have a separate profile I don't know about. Okay, but look. Okay. I am aware. I respect my husband, and he respects me. I will not say, and I can say whatever I want. There's no, to that point, I can say whatever I want. But I will protect my husband and myself, right? Period. At the end of the day, if I know something's gonna upset him or send him, or you not be fair to him, I'm not gonna do it. And he wouldn't do it to me. You know what I mean? So I mean, I get that part. I get that part. I just feel like everybody's different. And we know that. Every marriage is different, every relationship is different. And what I wouldn't do, somebody else would. And I feel like I could not relate being married to somebody famous. I'm sure that has a lot that comes with it. And I know you agree with that. And she does say that she's in therapy. She talks about that. We get it. And maybe something she maybe are not, all of this conversation about her is because she's choosing to speak on it, but she speaks about other things too. And you're saying, well, she should draw a line. And if somebody went, hey, this has been her tag the whole time. I want to. Do we have a few? Can we go a little?
Yeah. I think we rocking.
I want to share this a little bit because I want to understand it.
That's Dee's comment about finding 50-50 because that really struck me right there, and I have a piece to share with him on that. So, but let's go ahead.
We're found 50-50. Okay. Yeah. Don't forget that unless okay. God damn, Ayesha. God damn it, Ayesha. You done started that. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, hold on. Share. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I feel, okay. I mean, I've never been here. Hold on.
And as a woman, like, did you ever experience any type of like direct scrutiny over just like you or what you looked like or how you were acting?
Oh, all the time. I feel like I still do. And that's okay. But
how did that impact you though early on when you were like, I'm still not equipped to handle this? Because now you're like seasoned. Yes, it affects you, but you now have the tools of like, I've been here before. I know exactly how to handle this moment.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean it doesn't still hurt.
It was so depressing. And
she's talking about
at Ashley, where no matter what your holiday traditions are,
she's going to be candid about what this meant for her.
Also, it was during that time when this like social media thing was just ramping up. And so people were going buck wild. And just spewing opinions on things that didn't warrant opinions. And so I think for a while, yeah, I was very critical of myself because of the things that I was seeing.
It's so hard also to be the woman in a situation where you're like, men just don't get as much scrutiny. Like they can maybe tell him like, your fucking shots suck tonight, but like the looks and all of that is just like not a factor of conversation as much.
No.
Did you talk to Steph about it? Like, or did you kind of keep it within yourself so it didn't?
I do not have a bone in my body that can keep anything to myself.
Hey, look, she's talking about.
So if it comes to mine, it's coming out. And he's so gracious. Like he tries to resonate with me, but he just can't. And he also comes from a place of like, it's effing stupid. Like, it's not true. So why are you? And I'm like, but wait, like,
okay, now what was wrong with that? That's how I feel. A lot of women feel this way. What is the problem with that? We're two different species. You niggas don't see shit the same way we do. Mm-hmm. What's wrong with that?
No. I'm not. That was actually a part of what I was saying earlier. That he has had conversations with her, but she doesn't see. Mm-hmm. She doesn't see what he's actually saying, and the thing that comes down to it, and again, this is an age-old argument. It's why isn't what I'm saying about you, how I think about you, how I view you, how You are the love of my life. Why does that not matter? But
It does
it doesn't matter if you're consistently saying that you don't understand me. No, I'm letting you know I do understand you, and I can only understand you as well as you understand yourself. Let's get that out the way. Number one. And number two, this is the same thing we see consistently, right? Men will say, and women have also said this to men. Listen, I don't give a fuck what they say about you. I fuck with you. And if he has a choice in that moment, I can choose to cleave to this person who clearly has my best interest at heart, or I could sit here and still allow the negative impressions of everything external to weigh on me and then to ultimately separate me from her, separate me from who's here to help me. How many times have you told a man that I'm here, I support you, and you meant it with every fiber of your being, but yet still his ass was still looking every other which way, doing some other shit, and everybody else's voice mattered except for the voice that mattered the most. What I'm saying is, again, I can clearly see where men are guilty of that. What I feel like doesn't happen is that women excuse that and you don't hold yourselves accountable for women that do that. She's clearly, and it's not, and again, you could say, but no. The fact of the matter is, this is fucking with her. So if she's not willing to say, listen, fuck all that, he got my best interest, and then but then what comes up then, right? Oh, well, maybe he's just saying that to be nice, or maybe he's just saying that because he's my husband, or he's supposed to say that, but he doesn't really believe that, blah, blah, blah. And all that negative bullshit chatter, the negative narratives, right, still plays a role. That's you doing that. That's not him.
That could be very true, but I still, okay. I'm not saying that she doesn't have things that she needs to work on, right? I do believe that if men, when women are, I'm generally speaking,
Yeah.
are talked about, their bodies, whatever, right? This is why women are known to have these surgeries and not men, these cosmetic surgeries, okay? It's a whole different ball game. I can put my clothes on to this day and I could go in there and ask my husband, how does this look? Okay. It's fine. Honey, can you see through this? And I'll go as far as to open the back door and go stand where the sun is. Can you see through this? And he'll look. No, it looks good. Now, as far as I'm concerned, did you even look, nigga? Your head was at a 45, nigga. I'm at a 90.
Okay,
How
but
did
hold on.
you see?
Let me throw this on there. Let me throw this out there. Wear an LA Dodgers hat. Nope, wait a minute. Wear a 49ers hat.
And
What
he'll
would he
look.
say then?
I like that hat. Where'd you get that hat from? I didn't buy it.
No,
Okay, that's
no,
what he said.
no. I'm talking about the other stuff that he said about, I don't want you looking like a nigga, right? So
if I wore it, okay.
yeah, wearing hats and shit like that, right?
Uh-huh.
Here's what I'm only bringing that up to say this.
Uh-huh.
He cares about your appearance clearly because he's saying that when you wear this, you look more masculine. I don't want you to look like that, right? When you're operating in what he considers to be your femininity, I'm good with that. So yeah, I guarantee you the nigga looked, because we all know if we can see through people's dresses, we be knowing. And we know what type of panties y'all wear. We know sometimes if you got prints on the motherfuckers, we can see that shit. And we do look, just know. So what I'm saying with that is, yes, he did look. But your assumption is that, oh, he's probably not paying attention. No, he told you.
Okay, so let's say he is paying attention or not. That's not the point I was making. The point I'm making is that I could go in there and I can ask him if this looks good. Okay. I am listening to his answer, But at the end of the day, he could say it looks fine. Okay. At the end of the day, I'll consider it because I wanted to know, but I'm not solely relying on that opinion. So the assumption that because you say it looks nice, that I'm going to wear it, I never said that. Don't make that assumption. I'm just asking you what your opinion is of it. Okay. That doesn't mean I have to wear it. So when I go back in there and change based on how you sound, it would sound like you would interpret that as, well, fuck it. Why did you ask me?
What I would interpret
I wanted to know what you thought, and thank you for that. But that doesn't mean that's what I'm rolling with, and I don't have to.
Listen, you and this, I don't have to. No one fucking said you do, right? Let's take that out of the conversation because we are all grown adults here, right? So that doesn't even have to be the case unless you feel like that's what he does. He sons you. If he's not the type of man that sons you, and what I mean by sonning somebody, right? If it's male to male and you going, I'm up here, you're down here, that's sonning somebody, right?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
When there are men that have been known to do that, let's acknowledge it for what it is. Do I agree with that? No, right? What I'm saying is that's not everybody's issue. So you saying and suggesting that, well, I'm an adult, I can wear what I want to wear, I can say what I want to say. Yeah, we get that.
So do you want me to not ask you?
What I'm saying on that point is this, though.
Mm-hmm.
If you consistently ask me what my opinion is, yet you do the opposite, or don't again, I didn't ask you to ask me. But if you ask me and go the opposite direction,
you don't like that.
That's telling me something.
No, it's not, bro.
It's telling me something.
No, it's not. It's saying that.
Check this out. Most men, and I'm just
go ahead.
Do this. If you got brothers, you got friends, whatever the case may be, other males that you know of, ask them that question. SD made a statement. SD clearly said, "Hey, look, I've been out here in these streets for a minute, and I'm looking for mines." But he know enough to know, hey, do I look fat? Type shit, right? Those questions, right? We've heard those. We all have heard those questions. The issue with those questions again, and for us, it comes down to this. What you're really saying is, what you're telling us is this: females and their opinion of me is really what matters.
Why is it?
I really don't take your opinion into. Yeah, I don't really factor your opinion in too much, and I say that because you will go through this process of minimizing what he brings to it. Like, for instance, you just did it when you were talking about him. You said, well, he's probably not paying attention. What would give you that impression that he wasn't when you're his woman and he clearly has told you, I don't like this, I don't like that, and he'll tell you when he sees it.
In that particular instance, because it really happened, I went to work and I went on my afternoon walk, and two people said they could see through my dress. So I specifically went to my husband, stood in the sun before I left because I was like, I think I might be able to see through this. I think this might be too thin. So I go. He's watching his show. I go and I ask him, and I go as far as to step outside in the sun because I want to make sure he could. And he says, no, I can't see it. Maybe he really couldn't see it. I don't know.
There's no sun on your patio. It doesn't hit right there by the door.
Maybe he couldn't see it.
I'm just telling you, the sun don't hit the door.
And I didn't hold it against him. And I'm just bringing it up as an example. I didn't, it is what it is. I mean, he's not going to send me out. Look, or you could on purpose where you can see right through it. Right?
Hold on. Truth said, "What if he's colorblind?" Again, that's possible.
Look,
hold on. The nigga's old. The nigga. Did he have his glasses on when you asked him?
And you know what? Look, and I will. and at the end of the day, I know, like, I have to feel comfortable in something to wear it, okay? And I think all of this, but I will ask him, like, if I'm on teetering or whatever, I'll be like, well, or he'll be like, that's too long, or you know, why are you wearing it that way? I'll be like, you don't know style anyway, nigga. Okay, see. I'm like, what the fuck would you know?
Oh,
You
no,
still wearing Lokes. Yeah, you
You-
wear bucket hats and Lokes in 2025, you old mother. Okay, see? Now that's not right. Now I done messed up my whole point. God damn it. All right. Well, Truth says she's not asking a goddamn thing. She's wearing what the fuck she want to wear. She don't give a fuck
and,
what you
and
think.
and you know what? And you're more than welcome to do that. Again, you're an adult. you're okay with that, right? But all I'm saying is, if you go so far as to ask somebody what their thoughts are, and then you minimize, right? This is the same thing we do with everything. So watch how this ties into life development type shit, right? God may say, and again, depending on where you stand, but let's just say you believe in God, and you believe in God and in the validity of Scripture, right? Let's just say you do. I'm going to use something as an example.
Okay.
God says, I wish above all things that you would prosper and be in good health, even as your soul prospers. He says this. He says, you are the head, not the tail. He says this. He says, for I so have loved you, right? I gave my only begotten son, wooty, wooty, whoop, whoop, that you may have life, right? And we go through these things, right? I'll never leave you nor forsake you. We go through all these things, and he says these things, but yet still in the back of our minds, we wrestle with the validity of the statement as it's applied to me. That's a personal issue. It's not an issue with the validity of the person who gave the message. The issue is do I accept the message based on what my understanding of what I look like, based on what my understanding of what my life is like. And so when it comes to the transition that people make when they get into spirituality, is you have to start learning how to navigate that space, right? To minimize that secondary voice, to focus in on what it is that you really want to see and what you really want to have happen. And a good example of that is a whole movement for positive reformations and positive reframing. It's not to say that you haven't had challenges in life. Yes, we all have had those, but how I frame those conversations makes a difference. I was just having a conversation about neuroscience and one of the things that the brain does, right? And a good example I could use that everybody might relate to is the brain is not biased to information. So what I mean by that is this: if you're in a dream, if you've ever woken up from a dream and felt happy, sad, frustrated, or pissed off, that's evidence and proof that something that's not even necessarily connected to you can affect your emotional state because it was a dream. I personally have woken up pissed off at somebody because of some shit that they did in the dream that they never did physically, right? That scenario never happened to me physically, but in the dream, I saw it and I was upset with that individual just for a minute. The fact of the matter is I still had that. The brain does not know. And how does this relate? It relates in this aspect because from a neurological standpoint, neuroscience, positive psychology, and not kinetics, what is it? It's another term and it escapes me right now. But from that standpoint, the metaphysical standpoint, that's not the issue. The issue is you not accepting what you want your reality to be. So what we see in the world sometimes is just a microcosm of what's happening internally. Another way to say that is what I see externally, it's what's happening internally. This is why two people can be in the same space at the exact same time and see two totally different things about it, the same interaction, because one person's internal world may be filled with turmoil, right? And so what they're going to see in the external world is turmoil. So how does this work? And so again, this gets back to what we're talking about, because if a person doesn't allow that, those words of affirmation, the baby, I love you, oh, you look great, whoop-de whoop, to fall on good ground, which means that's ground that you've tended to. That's ground that you've actually turned, soil internally that you've turned to make sure that when those things come, I allow those things to take root so that it can give me, because again, I can create the world that I want to see based on what's happening inside of me. So now, if you're looking for resources that directs you along the path to understanding more about what I'm talking about, I can give those things. One thing there's several different books, but The Alchemist is a great one. That's a great starter point, is reading that book. The Celestine Prophecy is another good one, right? And and they highlight this aspect of our existence. So getting back to what your husband said to you, and this challenges that sometimes men have with their wives or whoever, as a father, I had that challenge with my children who they said they loved me, but I didn't know how to accept that because I didn't love myself. So how can I accept something from you that I don't accept? So again, that still comes down to the individual. And that's the problem I have with all of this. It's not her having the issue. It's not her not having a voice. It's not her not being able to express what her concerns are. It's the way in which you're going about doing it, because that doesn't fix the issue. That's not going to help you. If anything, all this is doing is you're already insecure about the negative vitriol that you receive from the public's eye. You're now open. You're putting yourself out there for them to fuck with you even more. You're hurting your own self. So my frustration is you're fucking up your own self, your own process unnecessarily. That's not what you do. You don't go that route. You deal with that. You do any plant that you ever want to grow, it is always downward growth first before you ever see the shit that breaks the surface. The seed is going to germinate. You give it what it needs, it's going to grow, but it's downward growth first. And so now you're out here on this external shit and you're putting all your business out there in this aspect. That's not going to help you. You've already told the world you're insecure. You don't keep feeding that narrative, because now you gave them and this monster, you gave that monster energy. So when your spouses will say something that's productive, again, Susan says something about her husband called her skinny. I don't agree unless you're okay with that. But what I'm saying about that is some people use their words to harm. And I'm not saying that he did. I just know that people do that. That's so don't hear what I'm not saying. I'm not saying that everything that your spouse says or people connected to you is positive. No. But what I'm saying is that when those things do come, sometimes we don't accept them. We have a deaf ear only because we don't allow that to rest on the inside of us because of our own issue. And we feel like it's theirs. So Steph just doesn't hear me. He doesn't understand. No, motherfucker, you don't understand you. He does understand clearly because he's not the one wavering in all of this. You're not coming out saying he's sunning you and he's shitting on you every opportunity he gets. No, you're not saying that. You're saying he tries. The motherfucker's a billionaire and he tries, which tells me he gives a fuck about you. He cares about what you guys are building. He cares about you as the mother of his children.
She said he tries to understand what
right.
she's
He
going
tries.
through.
How many women say niggas don't try?
But that's not a bad thing that he's trying. Why is it wrong with that?
That's what I'm saying. So we know he's trying. It's falling on deaf ears only because it's an internal thing. It's not an external thing. So the work that she needs to do is internal again, and it's not on this tirade about, yeah, I was supposed to be X, Y, and Z. That's a personal conversation you have with your therapist and your folks. That's not for the rest of these people in the world to talk about. That's what I'm saying. And so you're opening up these doors.
I think that she's being a blessing to other women by doing it. By speaking her truth and how she felt. And all of this, again, like she said, was in the beginning, that things are not the same today. She talks about that later in this podcast, right? But this is just context, and this is how she felt. And I still can't find anything wrong with it. I think that I'm sure that her stories, a lot of women can relate to it, and they can also see that even with the things that she's working on herself in therapy and that she's sharing with the world, even with that being said, her marriage is still firm and her husband is by her side. They're by each other's side. And yes, she may be, let's just play devil's advocate and let's go here. We don't know whether this is true or not. She may be the more damaged of the two of them, but that's okay. That's okay.
Yeah, and I wouldn't even say that's fair to say.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know. We're speculating on quite a few things, but it's okay. I'm just trying to be devil's advocate here.
No,
Let's just say
I can dig
that's the case, and she's willing to take all these blows she's getting from the internet for speaking her truth, whether it's damaged truth or not. She's taking all the blows. He's behind her while she's taking it. But at the end of the day, they go home to their sweet little $1 billion home, wherever the fuck they live at, and they put their kids to bed and they wake up and do the shit again the next day. I mean, but my thing is, and I know six bows, I know you're saying she's just, all of this is just her trolling. They got to keep themselves in the media. It's brilliant. A lot of people troll. At the end of the day, even with trolling, I do feel like there's always a message behind something, and it's just healthy dialogue and stuff that people could take away, because this topic, where women don't feel seen, and I'm just saying, I'm sure there's women that feel that way too. And I know, Truth, you said that you are Ayesha Curry.
Mm-hmm.
So you can relate, and I'm sure there are a lot of people that do. But I do want to say this too, that she's a very successful businesswoman on her own merit. Okay, and she has the restaurant business, and he's doing his thing. They're both very business minded people, and they're in a marriage together. And all of these marriages and these relationships, they come with work, and they take a lot of work, and we're not going to be able to a lot of people don't make it in a marriage because of that. I mean, you got to be able to just, I guess, I mean, if whatever you choose to do, but this is her truth. I don't think she's making it up. I think it's really how her shit. And are there, I get it. There could be better ways to have healthy conversations around things, and some things should remain private, matter of opinion on what that is. But I guess I can definitely see it both ways, right?
Mm-hmm.
I do. I get it. Because I can see both. Like I said, I don't say everything that I want to say. You know what I'm saying? I don't, because it's not beneficial for my marriage and my husband. Not you sound sleepy. I'm not sleepy. I'm just saying, like, I get it. I do.
And I'll double down on the aspect of, I do not feel that there is a problem with you being human. We all need to have those areas of ourselves tended to, because that's the human experience that we're in. There are times and moments in our life when things are overwhelming. Things may, catch us by surprise, and we may not always have the words to describe what it is that we're experiencing. So feeling unseen, feeling unheard, those are real issues. That's not something to take lightly. So at no point in this conversation do I want that message to be conveyed, that her feelings do not matter, or for that matter, that yours don't. That is not what I'm saying. So please don't hear what I'm not saying. What I am saying though is there is a way in which I believe is optimal to get to the results that it is that you're seeking. If I continue to feed my addiction, I'll never get better. It doesn't matter what that addiction is. It doesn't matter why it's there. It doesn't matter how I got there, right? What we're dealing with is the brass tacks at the end of the day when the rubber meets the road. If I feed it, it lives. If I feed negativity in me, it lives. If I feed the negative, there's an old Indian statement about the two dogs, and I can't remember how this story went, but it was so dope. But it was talking about how one dog represented, let's say, evil, and one dog represented good, positivity, etc. And some way in which it got down to the point where they were fighting for who was going to take over. And the statement that was given to the hearer is this, and the message that's given to them is this: the one that you feed the most is the one that rules, or the one that takes over. So if you feed the negativity, well, that one is what's going to take over. If you feed the positivity, well, that one is the one that will win the fight. And that's who's going to, will have that domain. And I feel like in our life, a lot of times we miss that one part, because we have this power in our words. We have power in our presence. We have power in our being, and how we go about using that. And really ultimately it's knowing that you have it, knowing that you possess it, right? Life and death is in the power of the tongue. I believe that wholeheartedly. So when it comes to our circumstances and things that we're wrestling and jousting with, my advice with anyone, to myself and everyone else, is you always go inward first about how you address that before you deal with the external, the stuff that's on the outside. Before I externalize an issue, I have to first internalize that. I work through my little process that I have, and then we deal with it, right? Well, I want to clean the ground up to make sure that I'm standing on something that's firm, not something that's shaky at best. So we all have them. She has them. They have them. Wooty wooty woot. That's needless to say. But ladies, spouses, partners, I'm pausing on that because that wouldn't be fair to say. I'll say this.
You should have paused all night.
No, fuck that.
Just
nah, fuck that. I'm gonna hold myself accountable. It is what it is. What I will say is this: so we do the work. We do the work internally, and then we deal with everything else, because everything else will then have to fall in its own place. So, social media, publicly shaming, putting out your personal business, I just never think that's a safe and a fair thing to do to the people that you say that you love, irrespective of what the issue is. I don't think that's fair. It doesn't matter on what it looks like. There's a way in which to go about doing that. And I think that we have to use wisdom. We have to be mindful about the collateral damage as it relates to the ways in which I go about doing what I do. I would say you deal with the thing directly, deal with the issue directly, figure out what's going on there, and then go from there. But what do I know?
Nothing. Okay, look, but I want you to be heard, because you yelled at me earlier that I don't listen to you. Well, let's play one more song.
Truth, she may need her little yeah. Put truth.
No.
She may need her little yeah. Again, don't get me started on that conversation, because I have all kinds of feelings about that. I don't believe nobody should be unsatisfied ever. Nah, we live too short of an experience here. I don't believe in that.
I have a song to play on the way out. Good night. We love you guys.
Good night. Good night. Good night.
I'm gonna play. Well, yeah, I guess I'll play this one song. Okay, I'll just play it because I don't want you telling me nothing.
Ooh, there you go. I never said
No. You said I don't listen. Here we go. We love y'all. Tell Jason that you love him before y'all leave. Look it, I like this song.
Appreciate y'all for sliding as always. Oh, I like this song.
Don't let your body decide. Hey, is that what you said?
I don't know.
It's so silly of me to act like I don't need you back.
Come on, talk to me.
When all I can think about is us since I seen you last.
Come on, Jay. Show them what you're working with.
Yeah, shut up. I've been working out.
Take it out. Come on, we need some rating.
You be on your way. When I told you to fall back, so can you come pick up your clothes? I had them folded. Meet me at the door. It's still open. I know it's getting cold out, but here it's not frozen.
Come on.
So come pick up your clothes. I had them folded. I'll let your body decide if this is good enough for you. Already folding it for you.
Let me move the work. Talk to him. Move your name. Put your name up. Your name's in the way.
Hold on. Where am I seeing that?
Oh shit!
No matter what you do to switch the story, I know
I'm gonna be naked up here.
Uh-oh.
Let me get
this. Have somebody taking off their ring.
Through it all, that's the crazy part. Crazy part. I don't need no more empty promises. Promise me that you got it. I don't need roses, just need some flowers for my garden. Can't you go back to how you loved on me when you started? I'll be here begging for you. You should be giving me love all damn day till the day is done. So if you wanna go that way, I'll be waiting for you to come pick up your clothes. I had them folded. Meet me at the door. It's still open. I know.
And then she gonna ask me, do I look fat?
So come pick up your clothes.
You better not go over there and get them on those. You know every which way to get his attention. It's over.
I know it's getting cold out, but tell you that it's not frozen. So come pick up your clothes. I have them folded. I'll let your body decide. This is good enough for you. Already folding it for you. Already folding it for you. I'll let your body decide. This is good enough for you. Already folding it for you.
Yeah.
Already folding it for you. I'll let your body decide. This is good enough for you. Already folding it for you.
Woo. Nah, come on now. 6 bowls.
She said, fuck that.
Hey, 6 bowls.
She ain't doing it.
6 bowls.
Where's my phone? Oh,
6
shit.
bowls.
6 bowls.
Don't get me started. Don't get me started.
She said she's not doing it.
Don't get me started. Your ass will do it.
Oh,
I guarantee you.
He said you're gonna do it willingly. 6 bowls. He ain't got. Come on.
I'm just telling you. I'm telling you what I know. All this shit that we say we never do is only because you ain't met the right motherfucker.
Oh my God, Jason, give me a song. Let's do one more for him. They done got. What is
all I'm saying? Please. I don't do this. I don't do that. I never do this. Never, nigga, I learned a valuable lesson.
Never say never.
Don't ever say what you wouldn't do. Don't ever say what you wouldn't do because you have no clue what's on the other side of that veil. You meet somebody, your ass will get smooth out of pocket. I didn't been there, so I'm speaking from experience.
Watch out
I
now.
wouldn't do a lot of shit. I didn't say I wouldn't. I never. Ain't no damn way. Shit.
And you'll still do it.
Caught a nigga slipping.
Today.
Caught a nigga slipping.
My God, today.
And had me folded in this motherfucker. Had me folded.
All right, I'll let it rock. I can't.
Ooh, 6 bowls. Slide back through. Hold on. We gonna talk about it, goddamn. Slide back through.
Wait. My God, today. Look at True. She's so messy. Look at this. Look at the cigarette. Look at the cigarette. Wait.
Well, hey, we're gonna do Unlatched After Dark. Let's do Unlatched After Dark, goddamn. I got time.
You got a song for me.
Girl, do I have a song?
Because I'm send it to me. I got one for right now. Oh,
hold on.
Oh, she said my husband ironed my clothes. Talk to me.
Hey, I'm not hating on that. I bet you he never thought he would though until he met the right motherfucker.
Now we're all alone in this room.
He said we all alone. Talk to me.
Stopping this is you and me.
Yeah.
You've been talking so much noise.
You've been talking so much noise.
Saying all the things you're gonna do to me.
Come on.
Do to me. Handle your business, baby.
Handle your business.
If you're feeling froggy, go ahead and leave.
You better leave.
All of this talk about you gonna turn me out. Saying what you got gonna make my knees bleed. Well, I'm right here, baby. So let me see. So let me see, girl. We gon' make some freaky secrets, and we gon' keep it to ourselves, and we won't tell nobody else. We want more of this every other chance we get. Oh, baby, we gon' make some freaky secrets, and we can keep it to ourselves, and we won't tell nobody else. We want more of this every other chance we get. Yeah. Step on in my room, settle down, take a shot. Got tequila and crown. Go lay on that bed, Close your eyes, rub the back of my head.
Close your eyes.
On your thighs.
Talk to me.
Telling me you like the way that feels, babe. Saying that turns you on.
Look at these niggas.
The closer I get to your sweet spot, the more and the louder you moan. Now you look at me in my eyes, girl, begging me to go and do something. Oh yes, I gave you everything. Now you trembling. We gon' make some freaky
Uh-oh, he got it trembling, Jason.
We gon' keep it to ourselves, and we won't tell nobody else. We want more of this every other chance we get. Oh baby, we gon' make some freaky secrets, and we can keep it to ourselves, and we won't tell nobody.
He said we gon' keep it to ourselves. That Ayesha.
How you feeling? You talk all that noise at the beginning. Now look at you.
Uh-oh, look. 6 Bo said you trying to Google her, Jason. You better look her up. Whoa, she said Google me.
No. But listen.
You sent me a song.
Oh, listen, I sent you several. You can choose any of them. But if you're gonna choose the one, if you're gonna play Useless, do the one, the duet one. Yeah, do the duet.
Let's get it. I got that one.
Now listen, I'm a firm believer in this. You just never know. And the homie gonna break it down for you though. Say, listen, sometimes
This is the remix. Oh, here we go.
I took a shower with my clothes on.
who the fuck does that?
How stupid. I went to sleep with all the lights on. How stupid. I play the keys with my guitar. How useless. I try my best to up and move on.
Come on, Six Balls.
Just can't do it.
This is what happens when you meet the right one.
I wasn't meant to spend the night. I wasn't meant to live my life.
It don't matter what the fuck we say.
Best believe that I've been trying. But what it comes down to is different without you, yeah. I wasn't
Oh my
meant to
God,
be
this is so
outside.
pretty.
There's no colors
He loves
in
her
my
ass.
eyes.
Come on.
No other love can satisfy.
Come on. Talk to me.
What it comes down to is different without you, yeah.
Here she goes.
Heartbroken over what we had. It's gone and you can't get it back. If you ain't crying, must not be that sad. If you're still breathing, it must not be that bad. No, I don't wanna name how you've been spending the night with. Play stupid games, then you go win stupid prizes. If I walk up that door, you can do what you want with who you like with. It ain't a lie, it's a Freudian slip. Oh, without you, I wasn't meant to spend the night. Without you, I wasn't meant to live my life. Without you, best believe that I've been trying. But what it comes down to is different without you, yeah. I wasn't meant to be outside. There's no colors in the light. No other love can satisfy. What it comes down to is different without you, yeah. What it comes down to is different without you, yeah. So different without you. How did this end up being my reality? So different now. It's different without you. You're missing. How did this end up being my reality? So different without you. So different without you. What it comes down to is different without you, yeah.
I love it. That's the shit, bro.
In a real way. In a real way.
We'll have to do that more often, guys.
Oh,
I
we
miss
do.
the music. I gotta see. Also, but anyway, I thought it was a good conversation. We're gonna help Dynamics work through his shit. We'll help him.
Listen.
We're gonna have to stand together as a podcast, y'all.
No, but look, before we go, SD, I want to touch bases on that little statement you made about the 50-50.
Oh, the 50-50. Okay, let me highlight it.
I wanted to circle back to that.
Yeah.
You are definitely my senior. I am not trying to suggest that I know more or whatever in any way, shape, form, or fashion. Please hear my heart when I say this. But it is a concept, and it's based around the way in which we communicate our truth. The idea of 50-50 is a misnomer because there's no such thing as 50-50. If I go 50-50 at any point, I am holding something back. The true notion that I believe what people are really trying to get to is the idea that I can be fully and completely myself. And when I find myself around a people or a network or another entity that can receive me the way that I am, right? There's life in that. I am a firm believer in this, that opposites do not attract, we attract likeness. So the first thing I would say, the biggest thing, and this is the most scary thing for men, though. I'm not gonna say for men only, but I can speak as a man because I know our conversations. But vulnerability is a major issue with us. That is a major area of concern, area of opportunity, and that's one of the biggest complaints that I've heard women have about men is that I only feel like I have a part of him, not the whole him. And so I would say this, being that you are the man that you are and that you're walking the journey that you're walking, be willing to open that aspect of who you are up, like those hidden areas about who you are. And this is not nothing negative. It's just the parts that we keep under lock and key, because that's the area that I can be most hurt by, because that's the areas sometimes that those areas are the areas that someone else took advantage of. But the situation wasn't aimed at preventing you from ever doing that. That's the choice we have to make. That's where your power comes back at, when you reclaim your power in that space. And so I would say that a part of this, loving good, loving hard, is important, the whole 9 P's, the whole 9 yards. But I would say that here's the area, though, is what you put out in the atmosphere has no choice but to respond to you. It has no choice. Those things will come to you. Everything that you need will show up, but you've got to be willing to be what it needs. So the real authentic you is the one that you're looking for someone to accept. So you have to be willing to be that person, even though sometimes that person is the person that got hurt. So I'm not to get in your business. I don't know anything personal about you like that. So I'm not even, so trust me, this is just me talking. But that statement, when you made it, just kind of caught my attention. And it's something that I do believe in. It's something that I've actually been talking about and working on myself, is really committing to that journey of being fully authentically me, and allowing the people that's in my space to either vibrate with it or not. But I'm not moderating myself for the sake of another person's insecurity. No, can't do that anymore. But what I can do is I can be the me that I am. And I'm caring and I'm compassionate, I'm concerned, and wooty whoop. All those things are just a part of me. And those things get measured out as they need to. So I'm single, you single, we single. But we gonna be single until we don't want to be single. And that's how I'll leave it like that. 100%. We give the whole. It's the whole. I'm not meeting you halfway. I'm gonna be a 1,000% on board, and I just need you to be 1,000% on board with me. And then we gonna have all bases covered. That and then some. Because when two get together, there's multiplication that happens. That's not just simple addition. It's multiplication. We multiply at that point. But that's metaphysics, and we can talk about that another time. So, man, my heart goes out to you, bro. But yeah, we where we at, where we need to be for the moment. But shit, when this time is right, we'll be there. We'll get what we need.
You guys can have a marriage like mine. Just hang on. Just strive.
No, I'm good. I'm good.
It'll come.
Good. I don't want it. No. Hold on. Miss me.
Right. Tell me something. Dude, dodging you like a motherfucker. Like, you know what? Forget y'all. Where did they go? Look, right. My God. Listen, y'all don't know nothing about what. Let me tell you.
2 minutes. And now, what are you talking about now?
Well, tomorrow's our passport day. I got to take my passport.
Congratulations.
Look, this time a smile.
That's cute. Damn, that reminds me of a picture you took when you were 8. There's a picture when you had that St. Mary's. I want to say no. St. Mary's was a little bit older. You was in a private school. Yeah, weren't you in a private school when you had that with the little? But was it the? Did you wear a uniform there?
Yeah, at Ascension.
With the little white collar joint. With the you had a little white collar and a little. I think it was a blue shirt.
We had uniform. Yeah, we used to wear those sweaters. About
Yes.
time you got look at this. We're talking about I'll go ahead and buy my ticket then. Wait.
She's 8. I remember that.
Why am I pushing my head back like that? Look. I'm gonna do it. I'm happy. I told Truth today I'm gonna just smile real hard on my picture.
Just know this.
Look at this. Look at this. I just finished the application. I went to the library to fill out the application as Dean. Tomorrow's the day to return it in and pay the money.
And listen.
So I could go somewhere.
Anybody wants to go, this is for next year for a cruise. Oh, let us know. Because I need a roommate.
We're going to the Bahamas.
I need a roommate.
Oh my God. We talk to y'all later. We'll be back next week, right, Jay?
Yeah, we'll be back next week.
Okay.
We'll be back.
We love y'all. Thanks for coming.
Love y'all.
Bye, y'all. Jesus.
Man, yeah.
Look, don't forget this. Sleep with this on your mind.
Oh, she's so cute.